Hey guys, it's WolfMaiden, and today I'm going to be talking about the LARP that I'm working on, specifically some stuff about the mechanics and sort of the concept of it, but not quite the story yet. So let's get right into it. So first I wanted to start out with a concept that would be a good springboard for a very sandboxy game. I like player agency a lot, and I don't mind any plot lines going awry, and I want to cater to the players very heavily. So one thing I noticed when I observed a lot of new players, my boyfriend included, is that when you're dumped into a sandbox and you're not given a genuine direction to go in, it can be very overwhelming for new players, especially if you go by yourself or you don't have friends that are established at a game that can help you, or you're a little shy. So I wanted a starting point that everybody can really focus in on and pursue from the beginning. The first thing that came to mind for me for something that everybody can kind of get behind is adventurers. To me, adventurers are wandering people who take on odd jobs in whatever towns that they happen to be in. So this could be slaying creatures, but I think it also extends to gathering and crafting. Being an adventurer doesn't really exclude somebody from also being a citizen of a place so they can participate in other parts of life as well. It just allows for the freedom of taking jobs whenever you like and getting paid for them without needing to wait for like the interview process or having to be tied down to one thing. So I think it really gives a lot of freedom to players. It's like, do you need money? Okay, do this task and you get money. So it's very straightforward, I feel like. It really does provide that sense of freedom without having to sacrifice players being able to pay their in-game bills. So I started work on an Adventurers Guild and those mechanics for how it would operate. So there's a ranking system and a quest board. The more quests you take, the higher your rank will go over time. I wanted there to be a celebration of players for their achievements, so there's like rank up ceremonies at the end of each event. And I wanted a lot of different variety of quests on the quest board, with a lot of variety between non-combat and combat quests. As for where the LARP was taking place, I wanted to find a cozy place, somewhere nice where there was a forest, and I wanted cabins. I think cabin camping or camping where you don't have to worry about setup and takedown is really important for this LARP because I wanted it to be a cozy experience. My other local LARP is very heavily combat charged, and I wanted this LARP to be a little bit opposite in that if you're looking for combat, you can go after it, but if you're not looking for combat, it's not going to come to you. So I was looking around for cabins. Unfortunately, there's not too many options. And then I came across a lodge, which I thought would work perfect for an Adventurers Guild / inn location for players. So it has beds, it has showers, it has a commercial kitchen. It was perfect. Unfortunately, the only downside to the place is that it has a very hard limit on the amount of people that can stay there. So I'm a little sad about that, but it stays cozy and I could focus on the players that I do have playing there, so that it comes with its ups and downs. Because of its limit on people, I also had to focus a little bit on making this more hybrid with parlor LARP elements rather than all full live action ones. And I am planning to have a site test near the end of the year to see if this place is a good fit. I'm excited about that, so if it works, I will probably be having the first game next year at this site, but we'll see. So after the quest board and Adventurers Guild, I worked on a crafting and gathering system, and I didn't really want to settle for a gathering system that would limit the players to one-time gathering at the event or limit them at all, in that they could continue to gather as much as they want. So you could do quests, you could go gather, or you could craft, you know. I wanted that as an option for players, and it's not just one time. Like I said, I know it's usually like a supplementary thing or a side thing that you could take often in LARP, and I understand why it takes a backseat, but I don't like that it does. So I focused on that as a actionable thing, something you can do at will, within reason. Like you can't go gather every 2 seconds. You have to finish a task. So there are gathering tasks for players to do. I wanted there to be a variety of physical and non-physical tasks for players to complete. So they could do puzzles, or they could go on a hike, or they could do a variety of different things to complete their gathering task. I wanted there to be a certain time limit or time buffer between gathering, somewhere around 15 minutes, so that players don't overload the Adventurers Guild with requests to continue to gather one second after the other. But they do have a task to complete. Once it's complete, they can come back, get their rewards, and wait a little bit until that time is up. I plan to have the tasks be as long as the time, so it could change drastically, but that's the idea anyway. I also didn't like that you had to gather alone. I feel like at LARP the point is that we're there for others, and so I designed a gathering mechanic that allows for players to invite others to gather with them, even if they don't have the skill for that gathering thing. It might be reduced rewards for the person going with the other person, but at least you can go and gather and do that. So that's like one of the big things. So they can complete the tasks together, and hopefully it'll be more fun. So there's increased rewards for the person who leads the gathering, or I call them gathering expeditions. So there's increased rewards for the person leading the gathering expedition, and there are lesser rewards for people who don't have the gathering skill that they're going on the expedition for. And there's another mechanic called scouting and patrols that offers like an in-game monetary incentive to just right off the bat go on this thing. It does involve some possible danger. You could get attacked and you could discover things you maybe aren't prepared for. So that's a little scary, but it offers storyline rewards, actual in-game monetary rewards, and then you can also chance to gather while you're doing that. So it's something you could bundle up into gathering, or it could be your gathering task while you're also getting paid for it, plus all the extra stuff. But you definitely want to bring a friend on that one. It also would probably be 2 times the length of regular gathering tasks, so about 30 minutes, but it would have about twice as much reward. So it's like doing 2 gathering tasks at the same time, or at least that's the idea. There is, of course, risk involved, including your character's life, but it comes with increased reward. Another thing I wanted to include, but maybe not right away, were crafting classes. Actual real-life crafting. So I'm talking about leatherworking, sewing, chainmail making, that kind of thing. So we offer classes once an event or once every other event or something like that, so that players can actually get involved in creating things and learning and really getting some knowledge from the event itself. I thought this would add like an extra layer of coziness to the event, on top of the fact that you are staying somewhere where you don't have to pitch a tent and you don't have to worry about food. So there's also a war in full swing between orcs and all the other races surrounding the orcs. War is a huge part of the reason that the players are becoming adventurers and checking into this inn. There's a large war effort going on where players can become soldiers or strategists, or just supply the war effort with resources or money. There will be a war table set up for planning purposes, moving troops, determining where the next battle is going to take place. Some strategy games will be played and some physical LARP battles will be had in order to determine the outcome of certain battles and things. Additionally, players can help fix up the town they find themselves in. It's an old border town that was recently brought back into commission as the war started. I want the players to be able to build, repair, and own their own places within the town and other areas. So I'm using another system from another project that I have in order to make this work. And ultimately, I want to give the players the freedom to do whatever they want. So the tickets are going to be $60 and include 2 meals, as well as your entire stay at the event. I have a chef friend who's going to be catering for us, so that's really awesome. I'm very excited about the food. So when we get closer to the start of the LARP, I will talk more about the story itself and other elements I think that matter. I'll probably release the rulebook and things like that, so you guys can take a look yourself. For now, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.